In this video, I'm going to talk about how to set up and use ApolloOne. ApolloOne is a very powerful image viewer and a photo management tool. It is also a video player for playing back QuickTime videos, including 4K videos. Despite all the powerful features, it is actually very easy to use. I'm going to show you some of the basic elements to help you quickly set up and navigate around the app. When you first open the app, you'll see a blank window. Then it'll ask you for access permission to your home folder. Click OK. When the folder selection dialog box comes up, click OK again. This allows ApolloOne to synchronize with your Finder labels. It is a very useful feature when you start tagging images with tags and labels. Once that is done, you can start by viewing photos by dragging and dropping files or folders into the window. An easier way to navigate your photos is to add your folders containing photos to Places. Places is a collection of photo storage locations. It can be your local disk, an external disk drive, or a network folder. Press the shortcut key Command N or click the toolbar icon on the right to open the browser. Now, on top of the browser sidebar, you'll see Places. Click the Add button, and a selection dialog box will pop up. Navigate to the folder where you store all your images. Now click OK to select the folder. You can add as many folders to Places as you like. You can add an external drive or a network folder to Places. I'm going to add a network folder to Places. To navigate your photos, simply select one of the items in Places, and then expand the folder below. Now click on one of the folders with photos, and you can start browsing. It's that easy. You can rearrange the items in Places by dragging the item around. You can navigate the photos by using the left or right arrow keys on the keyboard, or swipe with the trackpad by using 2 fingers. You can also swipe the magic mouse to go to the next photo with just 1 finger. In order to support swiping with the magic mouse, remember to turn on Swipe Between Pages in System Preferences under Mouse. You can zoom in to look at the details of your photos by using 2-finger pinch on the trackpad. If you click and drag the mouse in the display window, the magnifier will pop up. You can drag the magnifier to anywhere on the image, and it'll magnify the image under the mouse pointer at 100%. If you use the trackpad, you can press down or drag with a higher pressure, and the magnifier will show the image under the mouse pointer at 200% magnification. You can also perform 200% magnification with the mouse. Hold down the Command key before you activate the magnifier. You can configure a different style magnifier. Open Preferences, click on the Advanced tab. Change magnifier style to circular, and uncheck Hide Magnifier Crosshair. Close the Preferences window. You now have a different style magnifier. You can also use the keyboard to zoom in on your image. Press the minus key to zoom out, and the equal or plus key to zoom in. There is a function to toggle the magnification between 100% and your current magnification. Press the shortcut key Z, or select 100% zoom toggle under the View menu. Zoom toggle will switch to 100% magnification for the image, and center the magnification around your mouse pointer. You can press shortcut key G to zoom to 200%. To return to the default zoom, press the shortcut key F, or select Zoom to fit under the View menu. You can turn on the inspector to look at the details of your photo. You can press Command I or click the toolbar icon to open the inspector. There are 5 pages. The first page shows you the basic info about your image, such as image size, metering mode, aperture, shutter speed, camera, and lens serial numbers. You can click on the histogram buttons below to look at the RGB histogram or luminosity histogram of the image. The second page shows you detailed metadata about your image. These are EXIF metadata and MakerNotes metadata. You can also find the GPS coordinates metadata on this page. The third page is a filter page, which helps you filter out tagged images, and I'll cover this in part 2 of the tutorial. The fourth page shows a map of where your image is taken. This is a full map application by itself. It allows you to add or modify GPS coordinates. You have a choice of Apple Maps or Google Maps. With Google Maps, you can even show the street view of where your photo is taken. The last page shows you the macOS Spotlight metadata that is attached to the file. You can edit the Spotlight metadata here as well. One of the design goals of ApolloOne is to maximize the image display space on Macs with smaller displays such as the MacBook Pros. To achieve this goal, there is an extensive use of floating or head-up display elements. The first one you notice is the film strip. When you move the mouse pointer to the lower portion of the screen, the film strip will appear. You can resize the thumbnail by holding the handlebar above the film strip, and move the handlebar up and down. You can change the mode of the browser and inspector from sidebar mode to floating mode. In addition to sidebar and floating mode, you can also detach the inspector as a separate window. With a detached window, you can have the map displayed in a second monitor if you want. If you want an overview of all the photos in the folder, you can switch to contact sheet mode. You can do this by pressing the shortcut key C, or by clicking the contact sheet icon in the toolbar. You can resize the thumbnails here as well. Just use the resize slider in the toolbar. You can set the size of the thumbnails shown in the contact sheet independent of the size of the thumbnails in the film strip. You can customize the toolbar by adding or removing items. Just right-click on the toolbar and select Customize Toolbar. I'm going to drag the subfolder level slider and Show AF Points buttons into the toolbar. When you're finished customizing the toolbar, click the Done button. ApolloOne has the ability to associate a camera RAW file with the JPEG file. For my workflow, I simply use the default JPEG plus RAW display mode under the View menu. When you delete a JPEG file, the default setting is to delete the RAW file that is associated with the JPEG file at the same time. You can turn this off in Preferences if you want. When you are deleting files, you can delete the JPEG and RAW pair by pressing Command Delete. If you want to delete just the RAW file, press Option Delete. If you want to delete the JPEG file, but keeping the RAW file, press Shift Delete. ApolloOne supports many forms of drag and drop. The simplest one is to drag and drop some images into the display window. You can also drag the image out from the main window into another application. For example, I have this picture I really like, and I want to share it with my friend via WhatsApp for the desktop. I can quickly resize ApolloOne to a smaller window by pressing the shortcut key I, exposing my WhatsApp window in the background. Now I drag the image in ApolloOne. First you get the magnifier, but I keep dragging until my mouse pointer is outside of the image window. Now the magnifier turns into a thumbnail. I keep dragging this thumbnail and drop it into WhatsApp. The picture is now shared easily with my friend. The next drag and drop I'm going to talk about is dragging out a portion of the image. Think of it as automatic cropping into a word processing application, such as Pages. Let's say I only want a portion of this image, and I want to add this to a document I'm writing. I hold down the Function key, and then I drag the image out from ApolloOne into Pages. See how easy it is. Another interesting drag and drop operation I want to talk about is to download an image from a website. Let's say you found an image on a website you want to download for personal use. Simply drag the image from the website into ApolloOne's image display window. The image at the URL will be downloaded for you and displayed in the window. Now let's go back into contact sheet mode. I want to move some photos to another folder. First, I select the thumbnails by dragging out a selection rectangle. I can then hold down the Command key and drag to add more thumbnails to the selection. Now I click on one of the selections, drag the thumbnails to a folder in the browser. I get a dialog box asking me whether I want to include the RAW files. I'm going to check this box so it'll also move the RAW files to the destination folder. Now click the Move button. If I want to copy the files instead of moving them, hold down the Option key before dropping the files into the folder. If you regularly copy or move files to a certain folder, you can set up a shortcut key for doing so. Select the files you want to copy, and from the File menu, go into the Copy to submenu and select Folder. Select the destination folder. It can be a folder outside of the folders in Places. Now click the Copy button. Once the files are copied, go back to the Copy to submenu, and you'll see a new menu item with shortcut key option F1. The next time you want to copy some files to this folder, all you have to do is to press the option F1 key. And the files will be copied for me quickly into the folder. One very useful feature is image rotation. Whenever you see an image with an incorrect orientation, you can quickly rotate it by holding down the Shift key and press the less than or greater than shortcut keys. It'll save the new orientation back to the image as soon as you press the left or right arrow keys to view the next or previous image. What's so great about this is that it can also rotate video playback. One interesting feature is that when you scrub a video file, the histogram will also update to show you the histogram at that video frame. You can also export a video frame as a JPEG file. It has a frame-accurate export feature. So let's turn on frame stepping control. Now step to the frame you want to export and select Export Video Frame as JPEG. When viewing photos, you can switch to full screen mode by pressing the Enter key. This will hide the browser and inspector to give you a genuine full screen experience. If you're in Contact Sheet, pressing the Enter key will show you the thumbnails in a grid without the browser or inspector. When you're in Contact Sheet, you can bring up the Quick Preview window by pressing the spacebar. You can still navigate the Contact Sheet using arrow keys or swiping the trackpad while the Quick Preview window is opened. If you're in full screen mode, pressing spacebar will bring up Quick Preview in full screen as well. Finally, let's talk about the Slideshow feature. ApolloOne is compatible with wireless presenters such as the Logitech R400. You can press the Slideshow button on the R400 to start the slideshow. But first, I would like to configure it under Preferences Slideshow. There are many styles of slideshow transitions available. I want to enable Switch to Full Screen and Cycle Transition styles when the slideshow starts. Under the Tools menu, select Shuffle Playback. This will enable random image playback during slideshow. To start the slideshow, press the F5 function key. To stop the slideshow, press the F5 function key again. You can configure slideshow background music. Both the Shuffle Playback and Slideshow background music are premium features that require standard or pro subscriptions. Move the mouse pointer while the slideshow is playing. The slideshow controller will appear. Now click the Music Note button. This will bring up the iTunes playlist. Select the playlist or song and music will start playing automatically. You can select the default playlist when slideshow starts by putting a check mark on the playlist checkbox. This concludes part 1 of setting up and using ApolloOne. In part 2, I'll talk about the more advanced features of ApolloOne and how to integrate with third-party applications. I hope you enjoy this video.